Metric, what's up? Sorry, let me get mic'd up here. I forgot to put this on. Give me a second. Let's see. It's kind of windy out. Why is it not going in? Hang on, bear with me. All right, I got it. There we go. Think that worked? Sorry guys, I'm probably giving you whiplash. Thank you, Zach. Yeah, appreciate that. Appreciate it. I'm yeah, definitely not working out today. I cut off the tip of my finger, unfortunately, but it is what it is. I'm not doing artistic painting, that's for sure. Metric, how are you? Happy Saturday. Believe it or not, I did not cut off the tip of my finger painting, as you can imagine. Can you guys hear me okay? Maybe give me a thumbs up if you can hear me on the mic. I forgot to set it up before I started streaming, so I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't catching. I always find painting a little cathartic, so I figured I'd pop on the phone and see if anyone else finds it cathartic. Okay, cool. Thank you. Tired Sunday, 10 past 4 in the morning. Oh, wow. Why are you still awake? That's right, New Zealand time. I always forget. It takes me a minute. My brain has to kick on once I start streaming for who's who and where is whoever. Where is whoever? That's not what I'm trying to say. My dog woke me up this morning at like 5 in the morning, just yelling about something. She thought someone was in the house or something, so I had to go and check everything out. She was very, very bothered, which is pretty typical for her, unfortunately. Once she gets going on something, it's very difficult to get her to quiet down about it. Or, hey, you gotta go around. Did you get it? Nice. Yeah, when she starts yelling about something when it's sleeping hours, it's pretty much impossible to get her to calm down about it unless you go and check it out. So we went and checked it out this morning. Doesn't it look good? I think it looks good. If any of you are professional painters out there, probably mocking me because I've been YouTube lives all night. Oh man, switch. Cool. Hey, Herculean, you're painting today? Sometimes I like painting. Other times I'm like, this is the worst ever. I'm currently painting a shiplap backsplash for the bathroom renovation that I'm doing. So that is why I'm doing what I'm doing. Herculean, what are you painting today? You know what? I should do the sides first. Man, it is so warm out here. It just gets all goopy really fast. The finger has not been good, guys. I pretty much cut off the tip of my finger on What's up, Natalie? You like painting buildings? Gloomy kill. Cool. It is beautiful weather today. It's a little warm, but that's okay. Welcome to the chat, Natalie. Oh, we moved house. Cool. Final painting, getting ready for carpets going down next Thursday. That's awesome. Cool. Herc, I can give you a fake name or or I can go by eccentric scientist or TES. You pick whatever you want to do. Can't say that I've ever introduced myself as something other than my given name, but there's always a first for everything. Moving houses and painting is super fun, I think, anyways, because you get to kind of make it your own and yeah, just pick your own colors and find out how many other paint colors that the previous owner had put on the walls and mock them for their terrible style while you put your own terrible style on the wall that someone else would hate. That's how I think about it. What songs do painters listen to? I think maybe Billy Joel Piano Man, but just change it to Painter Man and then just run with it. That's what I'm gonna go with. Gloomy kill. That's my 2 cents on it. Hey, I need your guys' opinion here. Do I paint the grooves first? That panel, I painted the grooves and then I rolled the panel. But the main thing is I want to get the roller texture on the whole panel. So I don't want like the brush strokes to dry too much before I, so many flies, before I get the roller back on it, you know? So it's almost like doing a second coat and globbing the heck out of it, apparently. I don't know. I feel like my intra-skill painting methodology needs work. I feel like my painting skill within a tool is fine. Like I can even a paint job out and not have overlapping lines and all that. But as far as like my methodology for when to cut or when to roll could use some help. Appreciate that metric. That's awesome. Thank you. Like the stream and subscribe if you want. Usually we're doing YouTube workout videos, sometimes guitar streams, but I cut the tip of my finger off, and so I am down for workout and guitar for probably at least a week. Lina, yes, she is. She's my buddy, Sam. Her name is. She's sorry, it's loud. She follows me around everywhere, and then when it gets hot out, she'll go and find the shade. It is actually a green color. It's kind of like a gray green. It does look gray until it's done drying in different light, I guess. And so I've put this elsewhere in my house, and I really liked it. See, I almost let the brush strokes dry already. So yeah, it's a little bit, it does look gray on camera. It's got a green hue to it for sure in real life. And it will be the backsplash. I'm redoing my bathroom, so it's the backsplash between the freestanding tub and then behind the toilet all the way up the wall. So Gloomy, I do resistance training workouts. That's pretty much exclusively what I do at this point. I'll get into maybe some other stuff that's more applicable to other activities in my life, but currently I am 100% into resistance training, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. It will in the future eventually, but for right now, I am about 14 months into my best attempt at putting on muscle for the first time in my life, which is not something I've ever been known for sure. And I also cut down, so I was very happy about that. Start to put together some of the nutrition and diet and discipline and all that. So pretty happy about the results in the last year or so, especially the last 8 months. So yeah, we'll look smart. You love Arterius. So there are two things we don't talk about on stream: politics and religion. So yeah. What are you guys up to today? Just chilling? I know, Herculean, you're not chilling if you're painting stuff. I feel like this panel turned out pretty well, and it's pretty much almost dry already. That was not great. Each of these panels are getting 2 coats though, so I'm not too fussy about the first coat as long as it's, mostly good-ish. That's my level of craftsmanship, mostly good-ish. Does that count for anything? Yeah, so I don't gloomy. I think the nutrition plan is, it's not really like a diet per se. Like the things you eat are your diet, obviously, but there's a ton of research that backs up the energy balance energy balance theory, which is just KICO, calories in, calories out, which is more or less true across the board with very few exceptions, and even the exceptions are pretty limited in their effect. And so a lot of my lifting goals and nutrition goals, I decide what I want to do for a period of time. So that would be like cut weight or try to optimize a muscle massing phase. And so depending on what I want to do in a particular phase will dictate almost entirely what my strategy is for what I eat during the day. So during a cut, I did a 6-week cut, and I prefer to shorten the duration of the cut instead of doing like a 12-week cut at a moderate calorie deficit. I prefer to do a much faster cut, but it makes it quite a bit more difficult in terms of hunger and diet fatigue. So I did about 1,000 calorie deficit every day for 6 weeks, and I cut 8 pounds doing that. And so that was eating about 1,600 to 1,700 calories a day, which is pretty low for me. I mean, if you're not really paying attention to the types of foods you're eating in terms of protein content, especially because those are really satiating, you're going to be just like wanting to eat your arm if you're in 1,000 calorie deficit every day without being intentional about the types of foods that you're eating. So I'm not like a big avoid processed foods or junk foods or whatever. Like I had ice cream last night. But there's like no room for quote unquote fun foods when I'm doing my cut. So I just kind of buckle down for the times where I'm cutting weight, and then just, yeah, huge can. Chilling now. I'm been at it for 8 hours. Oh my goodness. Jeez. Yeah, man. Thanks for joining up. What's up, Fires Darrow? Welcome to the stream. Give it a like if you would. This is hilarious. I think we've had more viewership and more likes on this stream in the short amount of time that I've been streaming than I have in the last dozen workout streams. People like painting, watching an idiot paint over watching an idiot work out, apparently. That's my take on it. I don't know. What do you think? Ugh. I'm gonna totally burn this down. I brushed the edges before, but I actually found that the roller was a little bit better. There we go, 2 panels done. Well, first coat anyways. So I literally just finished painting this, and it's ready for a second coat. So I think I'll just slap the second one on right away and then move these to their terminal locations. Should I move you guys? I don't know. Is this bad? I didn't really think this through before I popped the stream on. Thanks, Herc. Appreciate it. Have a good sleep, man. Good luck with the rest of the painting for you. Gloomy, yeah, man. That's awesome. Congrats on getting some success with the workout plan. Definitely subscribe if you're feeling like it. Like I said, we do mostly workout streams, and then I've been actually working up some shorts. Those have been super fun to kind of put together, and so hit up the channel and subscribe if you want to. And obviously, what do they say? Put on the notifications so you know when I go live. Usually it's in the evenings, Eastern US time. Not sure where you're from, but I do kind of miss my across the pond folks. So if I stream in the afternoons, I'll usually catch the some of the UK and New Zealand people that are super chill and cool, like Herc and a few others. But yeah, just something to keep in mind. I don't know why I have Rocket Man in my head. It's because I heard it today, actually. I did like the, create a station on Apple Music or whatever. And it played Rocket Man. Could change it to Paintin Man. What do you think? Appreciate it, man. That's awesome. See you, Herc. Have a good one, man. Enjoy the sleep. Got to get it somewhere. All right. You know, one underrated part of doing work like this, I feel like a lot of people miss, and I miss myself a lot, is doing a little internal quality control. So checking your work. Don't just slap some paint on and call it good because you slapped some paint on. Actually go back and review your work, see what it looked like, make sure that it looks up to your standards, and if you're working for someone else, make sure that it's up to someone else's standards. You don't always get a choice for what the standard is, but what I like about DIY projects like redoing my whole bathroom is, with the exception of local codes and restrictions, I get to set my own standards. And so if I have a really high standard for something or a not as high standard for another thing, I have the freedom to just do it however I want to do it, which is cool. Gloomy, it is currently not great. That's what I would say. It is not great. I bought a new folding knife, a real small folding knife that I could put in my pocket for work. I've carried knives for 2 decades now, and I've used all sorts of tools and sharp objects and stuff like that. But I bought this knife off Amazon for $10 because I was like, I'm gonna lean into the whole, maybe I can make something cheap work for me for a certain period of time. And I inspected it. I opened it up, and there are a few things that I like to check when I first get a knife. And one of the things is lock up. And the lock was a liner lock. So if you're not familiar with knives, a folding knife opens like this, and then there's a piece of metal that kind of moves over to lock the blade in place so it can't fold. I opened it up and noticed that the liner lock didn't slide over, so I kind of forced it over myself. And then I just kind of put it out of my brain. Well, then I went to use the knife 2 nights ago for something, and I was opening a package, kind of like inverse grip like this, and I was pushing, and the knife just folded closed, and so I just barely gouged my ring finger, and then I cut essentially the tip of my middle finger right off, kind of on an angle. Yeah, there was kind of some skin hanging and lots of blood. So I ended up going to urgent care for it and getting it looked at. And I've had, the only other knife accident I've had was, what, over 10 years ago. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but I filleted my knuckle open just perfectly like that. So it just opened up. And that one I had stitched closed, and that was so bad getting it anesthetized, like getting them to inject the anesthetic into my knuckle to stitch it up was way worse than, it was like one of the worst things I've experienced for sure. And so when I went in for this, I was like, look, no stitches. And they were like, okay, well, we'll look at it and then we'll decide. And I'm like, okay. And they looked at it, and the PA that I was dealing with was like, if it was any deeper, I would say we'd have to stitch it up, but we're gonna glue it instead. So there was no like big tissue damage underneath. So they gave me the most expensive glue you've ever had to use, probably. Yeah, that was that. So there's a big glob of glue under here. Whoa, hello. Well, I just painted my shirt. So yeah, just hoping it heals up. Yeah, pain level's still pretty high, I won't lie. I cut a lot of nerves when I did that. And so it's like a solid, pretty consistent 5, I would say, which, you know, could be worse. Some people live with 24/7, you know, 6 or 8 level pain. So not complaining, but it definitely hurts, that's for sure. Okay, let me slap another roller coat on this one, and then I think I'll be good to move these panels and move on to some white ones. So many flies. What is happening? What's up, Zach? Welcome back. Ugh. Apparently when it's really hot out, it's pretty easy to get your paint unmixed, I guess. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to have enough paint for this, actually, which is going to bum me out. It's never fun running out of materials mid-project. But the plight of the lack of planning. I have no one to blame but myself. Zach, you're a legend. There's this sort of like diagonal painting technique that I've been doing. The first roll, where you're offloading most of your paint from your roller onto your object, if you kind of like go diagonal and then really kind of work it in and feather it in, you can get like a lot more done, and it looks nice and even. Whoa. As long as you're really careful about the coverage. Ugh. I need to give myself some more space here. As long as you're quick enough. Oh my goodness. How many times am I going to do that? So yeah, I'm not here to give you guys painting tips. More just share my experience. I'm not qualified to give painting tips or even fitness tips. I have no certifications. I've been around for a few decades, and that's about it. I'm more just sharing my experience and tips that I've picked up here and there. I'll post about on shorts. stuff like that. So. It's kind of weird having an injury to your middle finger, because the PA told me that I needed to keep it straight, and she was going to put me in a splint, and then she decided that it wasn't necessary, which was cool. But I've been, like, when you're doing stuff, you kind of have to not bend it a whole bunch, if you know what I mean? So it kind of looks like you're flipping people off perpetually, which is, depending on your disposition, either rude or hilarious. Oh. Me, oh no. Thanks, but TES legend. Appreciate that. Metric, good to have you. Appreciate you joining the stream. Have a wonderful rest of your day and enjoy sleep time. Thanks for joining. Slammed the door and fell off. Oh no, I believe that. One of my football coaches growing up, I think he cut his finger off with a saw, like full on, like cut his thumb off. And I remember one of the first times we were playing for him, like, it was really clear he had a really gnarly scar over the circumference of his thumb. And we were like, what, I don't know, 10 years old or something. So we're like, dude, what'd you do? Like, why does your thumb look like that? And he was like, well, I cut it off years ago. And whenever it got cold, he had to, like, get heat packs and keep his hand in his pocket, because apparently it was, like, really painful for him, for his thumb to get cold after that. So that's a super big bummer for him. But yeah, at least they were able to reattach it, you know? Same thing with your dad, TES. Yeah, it would be it'd be better to have a problematic finger that was still usable because it was attached, instead of just losing your finger. That would suck. Gloomy, thanks, man. Appreciate you joining. Sphinx, you're a G. Thank you. Let's see here. You guys take care. Just doing a little quality control checks here. Make sure I'm not totally messing this up here. My goal here is to not have, like, a bunch of brush strokes, because they look way out of place on a finished product. You want the texture of the roller. It gives it a nice, even, sort of eggshell looking texture. I guess after time it regrows as part of the normal bone and skin. Yeah, weird to have that. Feel artificial. Yeah, I believe that. Oh man, that's like, I'm always amazed they can reattach, you know, tendons and everything. When I was in school, we did cadaver dissection for a year, and one of the things that always stood out to me was when we cut, you know, from the shoulder all the way down through the arm, and essentially our goal was just to, like, sounds creepy, but peel the skin back to go deeper and deeper into the anatomy. And as soon as you get the skin off, you're pretty much into the tendons, and they're just like little really flat rubber bands, and it's just amazing that they can suture tendons together and they heal, and you're able to still extend your fingers. Funny story though, there was a guy who was he was super legit. He, like, took the class really seriously. He was respectful with the cadavers. Like, he was a guy. But one of the things that our instructor told us was your best dissection tool are your fingers. So, like, you would make an incision and you could, like, sort of reflect the skin and the fascia just by moving your fingers through it. But a lot of people would just, because they have a scalpel, they're like, oh, this is super sharp. A lot of people would just like overuse it. So they'd be cutting all over the place. And this guy made that mistake. But one time we were all gloved up and gowned up and everything, but he was cutting with a scalpel. He cut toward himself and he nicked his glove. And I leaned over the bench and I was like, you good? And he was like, yeah, I'm good. I got to change gloves though. So he had like poked a hole in his glove with the scalpel. So he pulls the glove off and there's like, he's bleeding. And so now we're like, oh man, so you got yourself. So we got to make sure we clean it out and everything. And he was like, I can't lift my finger up. And I was looking at him, I was like, Adam, you good? Like, and he was like, yeah, it's fine, but I can't lift my finger up. So I was like, let's go talk to the professor. So professor, who was an emergency room doctor for like 2 decades, we're like, hey, Dr. So-and-so, can you check this out? And so he looks at him, he's like, all right, Adam, I need you to extend your finger. And he was like, I can't, I'm having a really hard time. And he was like, Adam, listen to me. I need you to just grit through it and extend your finger. And this dude knew, like, he wasn't trying to bust him for it. And Adam was like, I honestly can't. And he was like, I think you severed your tendon, your extensor tendon on the back of your hand. And sure enough, he had literally just cut right through his extensor tendon on the back of his index finger. And so he could flex his finger, but there was no ability to extend his finger out. So yeah, that was a bummer for him. Weirdest part was we were halfway through the semester and he didn't want to leave school to have the surgery done. So literally he just, he waited until the end of the school year. And then he had the surgery done in the off season. So we called him Limpy the rest of the year because literally he would walk around and his finger is just like dangling. It's terrible, terrible, terrible. Yeah, I mean, he said it wasn't painful at all, oddly enough. So maybe he missed, there aren't a ton. I mean, there are some nerves for sure, but I guess it was pretty clean. Did we dissect frogs? Not in college. I dissected frogs in high school. We dissected cats in college. And then we multi-purpose used the cats to learn how to suture, stitch, to stitch. It was for learning how to stitch people up, but we were stitching cats up. And then eventually we moved on to the cadaver where we did the suture practice. So that was fascinating. Pretty neat to learn the different techniques for how to suture different incisions and wounds. It's kind of cool. I don't know if I should, let's see here. I think those look pretty good if I do say so myself. If I can be. Welcome to the chat if you're just passing through. Chat, what am I saying? Stream? Stream. Is that a piece? What am I doing here? I don't think that's a piece. This is a piece. I need to do. I almost think they should do that unless they're already dead. Like no needless killing for animals. I don't think they should do that unless they're already dead. Yeah, I think a lot, if not all of the cats were like donated. I don't know how you would say it, but they were not like, it's not like we bred cats to kill them so we could learn how to suture, if you know what I mean. It was like somebody's cat died and they decided to give it to, some totally ignorant college kids, which I'm grateful for. There's a distinct feeling of gratitude that I had never felt before, and haven't felt the same way since. But I'll never forget when we opened up the body bag the very first time. We had 2 cadavers that year, one female and one male. And I'll never forget the first time we opened up the body bag. My first thought was, that person used to be alive and now he's very dead. And then my second thought was, just kind of amazed that somebody would voluntarily offer their body for people like me to be able to learn science in a way that's pretty unique. So I was really, really grateful, and felt like that kind of informed the way I operated around the cadaver, and even just talked about him too, because I feel like we had some classmates for sure that were not quite as reverent about it. And so just knowing that somebody voluntarily gave their body up for me to learn was a pretty, what would you call it? Humbling. It was a humbling experience, I would say. So that's my rambling on dead bodies. I'm grateful that somebody volunteered to do that. I sure learned a lot. I made some memories that will last a lifetime for sure. Maybe some of those stories about the cadavers will tell on another stream. I don't know how much of a gut people want to hear about. Yeah. I'm an organ donor on my driver's license, but I wouldn't want to donate my entire body. Yeah, I mean, that's reasonable. It's a pretty personal thing. Ironically, it's like, as much, I feel like it would take a lot of sort of forethought to be like, I'm going to donate my body to, to people who are studying science. As much intentionality as it would take to do that, it's going to make exactly zero difference to you because you'll be dead. So that's an interesting sort of paradox. But I understand what you mean. I don't. I'm not planning on donating the entirety of my body to science, unless somehow they find out like this guy is an idiot, and we need to find out why. Let's dissect his brain, and then maybe I'd be like, all right, sure, go ahead. Dragon, I am not making a shed. I am painting shiplap panels for a bathroom remodel. That is currently what I'm doing. So I am a professional at none of this. I am just somebody who's done a lot of DIY stuff over the years. I have a lot of tools. I have a little bit of information in my skull. And when I add all of those things together, it equals maybe possibly slightly being able to do a halfway good job at stuff that I'm okay with looking at every day. What are you doing? What are you up to today? Do you guys like painting, or is it like something you kind of hate to do? I know some of you probably just had parents that had you paint. Some of your parents hired painters, and some of your parents didn't paint at all, which all are valid courses. Every once in a while I get like little fuzzies on here, and you gotta kind of wipe them off quick and make sure you get another roll on there, because otherwise you got your finger texture on there for the duration of the time the panel is on your wall. That one doesn't look too bad, does it? I don't know. Yeah, it is not Wisconsin or Minnesota. Thank you, I appreciate it. My favorite are the 2 crepe myrtle trees behind me, one of which about a third of it snapped off in a recent storm, which made me pretty sad to see a beautiful portion of the crepe myrtle fall down, but such is life. That's how it goes. Just doing some quality control here. Zach, are you working tonight or you getting the weekend off? I was just talking to a guy in a lab I was in yesterday. Whoops. Uh-oh. Well, the newly painted panels just fell over, so give me 1 sec. I'm gonna go move them into a location that's more conducive to not falling over. Oh, I think it's okay. Hang on. Just moving stuff here. Might have to repair this one here, unfortunately. Yep. Oof. Bummer. Well, what you gonna do? See, I should have planned this out a little bit better and had a better space to put the finished panels. It was root of the wind, I agree. Oh, good. I'm glad you don't work on the weekend. Yeah, you know, I wish the wind was kinder to my endeavors here, but wow, that really hit a number. I think I'm actually gonna give it a quick sanding before I... Hang on 1 sec, guys. I'm just trying to find my... Aha. You found it. Ouch, 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 finger. Okay. Um, 120? We'll go with 120. Sounds good to me. All right, you guys are gonna have to tell me if the audio is back because I walked pretty far away, so sometimes it disconnects. Hello, Sam. Sam, they're saying hello to you. Normally I drag the orbital sander out here, but number one, I don't want to blow your guys' ears off. And then number two, I don't want to have to deal with the extension cord because I don't really have power out here. All right, let's see if that's any good. Whoa, that is a van. Interesting. Don't have much experience with painting walls or boards. When I was going to help my father paint my room a purplish blue. Nice. Painted it a light blue. Sweet. Nice. That's awesome. Sweet. All right, hang on a sec. Cover your ears if you have to. Ouch! Oh, the finger. Okay. I'm still not quite used to keeping my dominant hand middle finger out of the way. It's not going particularly well. wonder if I'd get more views or less views if I took my shirt off. These are the intrusive thoughts that go through my head. They range from pretty harmless to what in the world just happened in my skull. It's terrible. Sorry to put you through that one. Ooh, yesterday was Friday the 13th, wasn't it? What's up, Razik? Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I got to get more paint here. This panel looks pretty good, doesn't it? It's more or less finished. Zach. What's the phrase? All PR is good PR? No, I'm just kidding. All right, let me put this piece away. All right, that piece is safe. This piece doesn't look too bad. Could be worse. Is my phone overheating yet? Feels pretty good still. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate that. Thanks for being my second QC check. Yes, the finger is more or less okay. It's just I keep banging it on stuff, and then it reminds me that I have nerves in there that are very irritated. If you were redoing your bathroom, whether you are at your childhood home with your parents or a partner's place, your own place, whatever the case may be, it all applies. What would be your dream setup for a bathroom that you had to yourself or with a partner, I guess? Two-person bathroom. But if you could have your cake and eat it too, what kind of bathroom would you have? Some people are like, I just need a place to do my business, get clean, yada yada. I feel that pragmatic approach. But there's also something to be said. As I get older, the more I want to make the things that I use and the places that I go every day as beautiful as possible, as beautiful, as usable, as utilitarian as possible. There's a concept called first order retrievability. That's kind of how I organize my tools and kind of the garage. That's my method anyways, and it's essentially like you stratify the things that you use at the top of the totem, or top of the strata, sorry, for how easy they are to retrieve. So if you use something every time you go into your shop or into your kitchen, in theory, that should be an object, a piece that is at the very top of ease of retrievability. So you wouldn't put your silverware drawer, in the third bay down in your cabinets because you use silverware every day, probably, if you use your kitchen anyways. And so even though it is just a bathroom, you use your bathroom every day. You got to take a shower, or maybe you should take a shower. Being presumptuous here, but you gotta use your bathroom all the time. And so it seems to me that it would be ideal to make it as beautiful, aesthetic, and usable, helpful as possible. Probably a light gray color with a curved shower. Ooh, plaster with a dark gray wooden floor. That sounds great. Holy moly. I'm doing life-proof laminate flooring in this bathroom. And it's a kind of like maybe a beige color, I'll say, because there are going to be other colors, darker colors on the wall, the vanity, kind of keeping it low for the shiplap color. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. But that sounds nice, Zach. That sounds like a nice setup. I'm just gonna move this until it dries. We'll get the other panel on here. Wait, do we only have one left? No. Hey, you're fine. You're okay. She hears the neighborhood dogs and she feels like she has to defend her honor. Let me get something to drink. I'm very thirsty. And one, two, hang on, bear with me. I gotta count this out here. I also got a vaccine the other day while I was getting my finger repaired, and still very sore in the arm. One. Hey, it's just UPS. You're fine, I promise. You'll be okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh, hang on. I gotta go get a package. Hey, come on. You're fine. Psst. He's one of the good guys. Hey, nah, get. Hey, how's it going, man? Get. Thanks. I don't know what this is. Guys, did you send me a package? I got something shipped to me that I don't know. Yes, it is why Sam's barking. She guardian of the property, no matter what. Sounds like something liquid in here. I don't know what this is. My heart skipped a beat. Not too long ago, I had just started the YouTube channel, and Zach, you came up with that idea to call me TES, just abbreviating the name. And I got a package in the mail that had TES as the heading on it. But there's what am I saying? Sorry, I did not sleep well last night. There was a portion of the word that was covered by a piece of tape, and it was not actually TES, obviously. It was a different word. But for a second, I was like, wait a minute, how did that happen? I heard a pop. What pop? I didn't hear it. What happened? Okay, I think that's good. I still haven't counted. Yeah, I didn't open it yet. I left it. I try to verify where I get stuff from, but I get packages all the time from work. So I never know. Okay, sorry, give me 1 second. I have to count this out. 1, 2, 2. Am I missing a panel? I thought I cut them all. Unless there are 3 over there. I have to go check. That's, yeah, probably when I sat it down. 1. Sorry, guys. This is my thinking face. Oh, toilet? Not toilet. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm missing a panel. Or one of these that's lying on the ground is one that I need to actually paint, which is oh yeah, that's a cutoff. Oh God, I hope this is not one that I needed, because that one's got dog prints all over it. Oh, okay. I'm an idiot. There are 2 more panels over here. That's 3 more. There's 1, 2, and 3 behind there, so we're good. I'm gonna move this one and pop the other one on here. Ooh, these are looking good. I like them. If I do say so myself. All right, what do we have to drink here? Let's do some coconut water. Ooh, a beer sounds good too. Ooh, kombucha. There we go. What is this package? From California. All right, hang on. Let me. It's even packaged weird. It's like not a normal. Oh, I know what it is. I'm not like a big, huge, fan of kombucha or whatever, but this stuff is pretty good from Costco. It's like the perfect level of sweetness and tanginess. Is tanginess, is that a word? Tanginess. Okay. Okay. It's so bright when I put these down. It's like not that bright out, but then when I put the panels down, they go very down. Roasted banana. I don't currently have mods. I don't really have a need of one right now. I am my own mod. And more than likely, if I ever had a mod, it would definitely be somebody that has been around for a while. Happy to have you, of course. Feel free to stay, like the stream, subscribe to the channel if that's your jam. No pressure either way. But yeah, I definitely would prefer to have somebody that I've seen for a while on the channel, that I have at least some read on their intentions. Maybe I'm just a grumpy old guy, who knows. What, can I paint inside of there with this? No, not really. Didn't go too well. Oh well. So my dog does this thing where if somebody is jogging in the neighborhood, she will like jog with them. So she'll run by the property line. Hey, don't be yelling at people. Sometimes she'll bark at them, but other times she will literally just like run along the line with them. There's one guy that walks all the time, and he always like smiles and waves at her, and she just like runs along the property with him. It's really cute. I don't even know his name. I've never met him. Okay, let's do this. Let's do the sides. I think the worst part about this is doing the edges. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Zach. Appreciate that. Yes, roasted banana. That is what I'm doing. This is going to be a shiplap sort of accent wall. Not really an accent wall. Backsplash. That's what I'm looking for. Shiplap backsplash to my in-progress renovation of my bathroom. That's what I'm hoping for, anyways. I've done a few of these, so I'm not too concerned that it's gonna like turn out terribly. But you know, it was really kind of crummy out yesterday. Crummy as in like it was rainy. Rain is not bad weather, but oh, we got our runner coming back. Sammy, please be kind. Just be nice. You don't have to. I know he's there. You don't have to let me know. He's just trying to enjoy his day. Where'd my kombucha go? I thought I put it down right there. Oh, I'm losing my mind. Guys, I'm gonna run out of paint. Can you believe it? How am I gonna run out of paint? Oh, there's a dog just sitting over there in the yard. Interesting. Sam is I installed an underground fence, and she learned how to negotiate with that very quickly. Took her like 2 days max to figure out what the boundary lines were. And ever since she's always stuck around. Although now that I've done this with the underground fence with her, I'm pretty sure I could just like train her on a leash where the boundary line was, and I don't think she would honestly go past it. Could be wrong, but I think she'd probably stick around. I would love to take her camping off leash, go backpacking with her. Something I love to do, and I would love to do that with my dog, but I don't know if I trust her that much. And keeping her on leash where I go backpacking is not really ideal, especially when I'm going with a friend. We're hiking in all sorts of overgrowth. So I got this panel is a big one, that one, and then that one behind me to do. I might have just enough paint. We'll see. What are you doing? Leave it. You ready? That wasn't great for the little finger. Okay. I think this one looks pretty good. It's definitely not dry yet. You know, I should just leave it. Just go on and paint this one. Another thing that's really frustrating if you're trying to get like a really nice paint job is making sure your piece is clean. So Hungarian, cool. Where should I go if I was going to visit Hungary? Budapest? I am right-handed, yes. Is relatively ambidextrous a thing? I don't know. Maybe that's pretentious to say relatively ambidextrous. I used to switch it when I played baseball, right and left-handed. I can't really throw left-handed that well, but I eat left-handed, even though I write right-handed. Maybe that's like, I don't know. Is that crazy? I don't know why. I also like found out I sweep left-handed, which I didn't even think about that. I just kind of do whatever's comfortable. But then what's kind of nice is because I kind of switch it up quite a bit, a lot of stuff I can do with both hands, and that comes in big time handy when I'm doing projects, you know, because then it's like not a big deal to just switch hands and keep it rolling. Ooh, that looked like fun. Is Budapest nice? Yeah, should go. It really is made for right-handed people. I always feel bad for my lefty friends because pretty much everything from like tools to musical instruments to firearms, like everything is made for right-handed people. And it's not like they don't make left-handed stuff. It's just the prevalence is so low. It's probably about the same distribution of availability as it is right to left-handed people, you know? Like, I don't know what percentage of the population is left-handed, but it's got to be quite a bit smaller than right-handed. And so as a true left-handed person, Zach, you would be able to probably weigh in the best on left-handed implement availability better than I could. That's just my take on it. And that's one of those things I don't really see like getting quote unquote better because, you know, like gluten-free, the prevalence of pretty good gluten-free food has increased massively in the last 10 years. But like people have been left-handed forever, and I don't know that it's going to get like way better for left-handed people necessarily. Not to be like a downer. Hey, what are you doing? Oh, that's so slobbery. You know, I'm going to get the chuck it. Hang on. Let's get the chuck it. No, don't do that. Oh, Willis. This will aggravate the finger a little bit less than than throwing it. Whoa, that is a massive vulture. Holy cow. I think about 10%, yeah. Yeah, interesting. 1% of the population can use both. Dragon, is that what you're saying? Interesting. Probably like truly ambidextrous, not like me, like sort of ambidextrous. The people that are actually ambidextrous. I also didn't know nearly everyone is also dominant footed and dominant eyed. Dominant sighted, whatever. Not an obstetrician, ophthalmologist. Obstetrician is something very different. Having babies. I think that might be the thing to do because it's so warm out here still. Like, do a couple lines and then make sure I get rid of my brush marks with the roller. I think that's the jam. For some reason, I don't know the physiologic reason for this, but take it easy, roasted bananas. If that is a statement, we're cool, but we're trying to be, no, not try. I do run a positive channel, so yeah, let's make sure that we're keeping it positive. If that is a statement, I'm okay with that, but I'm not going to harass people, that's for sure. I know, you're just waiting for me. I get it. I get it. I know. Man, this has been on the to-do list for so long. It's ridiculous. Two live streams at once. Some guy is ranting in a car. Oh, that sounds like fun. Multitasking ability. Okay. Think. I feel like if I had a better mic, this could be asthma material. Okay. Almost there. I'm gonna go put this down somewhere else. Hopefully, a place that does not ruin it. Go with that. One more panel. And whatever I have left for paint, I will, I'll two coat this stuff. Atlanta perimeter. He bans everyone, including me, so I can't comment. That seems kind of counterintuitive, doesn't it? Like, don't you want people to interact? That maybe I'm the ignorant one with stream, but Isn't that the whole point? Or I guess maybe he doesn't want anyone to comment. He just rants. Interesting. Yikes, did a shoddy job in this. Okay. Okay. One more panel to go. Ah, I see. Quick trigger finger, I guess. I feel that. Like I have no interest in putting up with tomfoolery on the channel either. I'm also not easily offended, so for better or worse. Woo! Just about had kombucha go down the wrong pipe there. Shoo it away. Killing the bug that landed on the panel. The fact that it was nasty splat. That's something to do with it. Nice if you just shoo it away. Nice. Yeah, I mean, I'm a nature and animal lover. I don't go out of my way to kill things unless I need to, or there's a particularly good reason for it. I am not of the disposition to say that it's forever and always bad to kill an animal, but yeah, if I find, especially in their natural habitat, like bugs or whatever, I don't go out of my way to kill stuff. Even like spiders in the garage. I get spiders all the time in the garage, and I just kind of leave them be. They're just hanging out, doing their thing. They're probably not living their best life in my garage, to be honest. They could be much more successful elsewhere, so I just let them be. I'm also not very bug averse. I have friends who are real that was good. Who are really freaked out by bugs, but I'm not particularly averse to them. Now, if I roll a bug into my panel, it's not on me. It's like, I don't know why, but a lot of times see on social media, there are like dog rescue videos. There's one that I cannot get out of my head, where this dude's car is like blowing up, and it's a police body cam video, and the police rolls up, and this guy is just frantic. He's like, my dog's inside, and the car's like all smoky inside, and like, props to the police officer, literally gets his baton out immediately, smashes the back window, clears the glass, and then reaches into the broken glass and pulls on this big dog's collar and like flops his head outside of the window. He was like that close to passing out from the smoke. And like immediately the dog came to, and they pulled him out. But I'm like, oh, I have such a hard time. Like it's hard to look away, but at the same time, like that sort of thing, imagining that happening to my dog, it's tough. Seeing animals, or like the water rescues for dogs, I've seen some of those. Like a dog just doesn't have the respect for whatever body of water he went into, and they have to go swim out to him. It's just like, oh, that is hard to handle. Yeah. Kiwi bird, what's up? Yes, I've seen that video many times. It shows up like every few months for some reason, and every time I'm like, well, at least I know how it ends. You know, like super quick acting, and the guy, like the police officer, was super cool, and the guy that had the dog was just freaking out. I would be too if I didn't have a way to break the glass. But this is why I have all sorts of implements around me to do emergency extractions and things of the like. Keep some triage kits and first aid kits in the car, just in case you run across a real bad accident. If you don't have the training for it, highly recommend it. Makes you feel a lot more confident and calm in scenarios like that. I was certified as an emergency medical responder in college, and a few years after, that certification has since lapsed. But the things that I learned in there, it's like there's no expiration point to the thinking portion of emergency response, and you know, emergency medical care, and providing help to people when they really need it. So I'm a big advocate for that. Learning at the very least how to do CPR if you run across a cardiac emergency, respiratory emergency, and then if you're comfortable enough to keep some gear on you or near you, that's always a good thing to have in case something cracks off. There's this time, not too long ago actually, I was making a late night run with the dog to go get some ice cream. And I never wear flip-flops. I shouldn't say never. I rarely wear flip-flops. Very rarely. And it was just like I have one pair that I wear to the beach, and it was the closest thing nearby. And so I just grabbed my flip-flops and hopped in the car, and I had just moved my medical kit from one car into the other. And we were going down the road. It was like 10:30 at night. And on one of the main highways, there is a truck that was completely flipped over in the middle of the road. And it was a complete disaster. Like it was a work truck, like a pickup outfitted for painting. So like ladders and paint and everything was all over the road. And so I get out of the car and I realize I don't have any medical, and I'm wearing flip-flops. So I'm literally jogging on broken glass in Walmart flip-flops to go see if anyone is still alive in this thing. Fully expecting, to be honest, to find dead people in the driver and passenger seats, or whoever was in there, of the truck. And right about the time I got there, there's a kid that was kind of like standing outside, like off to the side a little bit. And we were the second car to get on scene. And unfortunately, the kid didn't know any English. And I know very little Spanish, and so I was not able to communicate with him. But I looked at him, not knowing that he didn't know English, and I said, I like looked inside and I said, is there anyone in the car? And he just kind of like looked at me and then like looked away. So I don't know if he was in shock or if he was also a bystander, if he was one of the ones that was in the truck. But right around the time that happened, and he kind of didn't say much, I walked up to the driver's side of the vehicle and crouched down, and there is absolutely nobody inside, which I was relieved to find out. And there wasn't any blood anywhere. And then the ambulance rolled up right about the same time, and so I got the heck out of their way and let them do their thing. So I have no idea what happened. They obviously rolled their truck over in the middle of a busy highway, which is terrifying. Yeah, that was an experience I won't forget soon, because I had, like I said, I had just moved my medical gear out of that car, so I had no medical, none of my triage gear, no tourniquets, no chest seals, no anything. Not even quick clot or compressed gauze or anything like that. I was empty-handed, and I was running on broken glass and flip-flops. And so as I'm running, I'm just so pissed at myself for not grabbing normal shoes. But stepdad's friend just died in a car. Oh man. Ooh. Yeah, that's rough, Zach. That's terrible to lose somebody that way. It's hard to lose somebody anyway, but geez, that's rough. Certainly not how you want to go. My finger is like about ready to give up the ghost here. Ugh. It is not happy with me. And I am really close to being out of pain. So close. I'm literally scraping the bin here, hoping that I can get this last 1.5 things done here. I think we're gonna get it. Yeah, Zach, I need to learn more Spanish. That'd be good to learn. Oh, come on. What are you doing? Well, let me see if I can get one more roller coat on here. The paint is pretty much out here. Oh yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah, night shift is, I'm sure it's rough on the sleep schedule and just about everything. I was talking to a guy who's he was working day shift, but it was because he was training to be a supervisor for night shift, and he called it vampire mode. But he was like, yeah, I have a daughter, and I just don't sleep much during the week. And I was like, oh my goodness. Because I asked him, I was like, how do you handle sleep? You know, like, do you have blackout curtains or something? He's like, honestly, I just don't sleep much during the week. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, how do you survive that? Well, this is going to have to be good enough, I think. Of course it starts squealing now. Sorry, guys. Okay. I think that's all she wrote. The exact right amount of paint. That is crazy. You can sleep with the lights on. Wow. That's impressive. All right. Getting nitpicky now. Looks a little splotchy, to be honest. I don't, maybe it'll look a little bit better when it dries, but these other ones don't really look like that, so I wonder if it's kind of a lack of coating. There's not really much I can do about it, though. All right. Well, Zach, thanks for joining. I don't think anyone else is here except for you. It was good hanging out. I hope you have a good rest of your Saturday. Yeah. Appreciate you hanging out. Yep. Thank you. We'll be back to it at some point. See ya.